Life has a way of taking us through seasons we never expected. One day everything feels calm and normal, and the next you find yourself in a storm you never saw coming, the kind of storm that leaves you awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, how did I end up here? We all know what those nights feel like, nights when you cry quietly so no one else can hear, nights when your heart feels heavy, your mind is restless, and your soul is searching for peace. The world feels dark. The future feels uncertain, and your own strength feels like it's slipping away. But here's the truth, those dark nights are not meaningless. They are not signs that you are abandoned. They are often the very moments that open the door to the brightest guidance. Think about it, when everything is easy, we tend to forget. We get comfortable, we rely on ourselves, and we move through life on autopilot. But when the night gets dark, when life shakes us, that's when our hearts wake up. That's when we start asking the deeper questions. What am I here for? Who is really in control? Where do I turn when I can't handle this alone? It's in those nights of tears that your soul softens. It's in that silence, when you feel lost, that guidance begins to shine. The very pain that made you fall to your knees becomes the reason you discover a strength you didn't know you had. And sometimes the darkest moments are actually protection. Maybe you lost something, a job, a relationship, a dream, and it broke you. But what if that very loss was saving you from something worse? What if that closed door was redirecting you to something greater? The night may feel dark, but the guidance waiting for you is brighter than anything you could have imagined. You see, light is most powerful when it shines in the dark. If life was always bright, you wouldn't recognize the beauty of guidance. But when you're lost, when you feel surrounded by shadows, that's when even a small ray of hope becomes life, changing. And here's the beauty, those nights don't last forever. Just like the dawn always follows the night, relief always follows hardship. Every sleepless night, every tear, every test, they are not wasted. They are carving strength into your soul and preparing you for the light that is about to enter your life. So if you are in that dark night right now, breathe, don't mistake it for the end of your story. It might just be the beginning of your transformation. Hold on, keep walking, keep hoping, because the very darkness that scares you today is the same darkness that will make the light of guidance tomorrow shine even brighter. Remember this, your darkest nights are not there to break you, they are there to awaken you, and the light you find through them will guide you in ways you never thought possible. There are moments in life when the world feels heavy, when the night feels endless, and when silence speaks louder than words. These are the dark nights we all go through. And while the details may differ, the feeling is something every human being understands. No one is spared from them. Think about it for a moment. A young student stays awake, staring at their textbooks, feeling the pressure of failure looming over them. A parent lies in bed, eyes wide open, wondering how to put food on the table tomorrow. A person who once laughed loudly now sits quietly in their room, hiding tears from the world. Different stories, different lives, but the same heavy darkness. Dark nights don't discriminate. They visit the wealthy and the poor, the strong and the weak, the old and the young. They don't care about your status, your achievements, or how much you've accomplished. At some point, life will humble every one of us. That's the reality of being human, and maybe that's the point. These nights remind us that beneath all our differences, we are the same. Strip away the titles, the clothes, the masks we wear in public, and you'll find the same fragile heart, beating with fears, doubts, and hopes. It's strange, isn't it? By day, we wear confidence like armor. We smile, we laugh, we talk as if everything is fine. But when the night falls and the world grows quiet, our hearts often speak the loudest. That's when the questions come. Am I good enough? Will I ever make it? Why did this happen to me? Those dark nights expose the rawest version of ourselves. And you know what? That's not weakness. That's humanity. Sometimes we think we're the only ones feeling broken, like everyone else has it all figured out. But the truth is, everyone has their silent battles. That friend who always posts happy pictures online, they cry too. That neighbor who seems so calm and collected, they've had nights where they couldn't stop worrying. Even the strongest people, you know, the ones you look up to, they've faced storms that shook them to the core. It's easy to believe you're alone in your pain, but darkness is something we all share. It connects us more than success ever could. Success divides people into categories, but pain levels the ground, it humbles kings and comforts beggars. It reminds us that we're all walking the same fragile path of life. And if you've ever wondered why these nights come, maybe part of the answer lies here. They are universal because they are necessary. Without them, we would never understand each other. Without them, we would lose the empathy that binds us as human beings. Imagine a world without pain. Would we ever really learn kindness? Would we ever stop to care for one another? Probably not. Dark nights carry lessons that sunny days can't teach. They remind us of our limits, our need for something greater than ourselves, and our shared humanity. They strip away pride and replace it with humility. They silence the noise of the outside world and bring us face to face with our true selves. So the next time you find yourself lying awake in the silence, feeling like the world is crashing down on your shoulders, remember this: you are not the only one. Somewhere, someone else is awake too, wrestling with their own fears and tears. Different circumstances, same struggle. That's what makes dark nights universal. And while it doesn't erase the pain, knowing this truth can soften the loneliness. Because in a strange way, these shared nights of struggle are what make us human. They are the threads that weave us together in the fabric of life. There's something about struggles that nothing else in life can do. They shake us, they break us, and they wake us up. Without them, we would live asleep, moving from one day to the next, never questioning, never reflecting, never truly growing. But when life gets hard, when the weight feels too heavy, suddenly the heart comes alive in a way it never did before. Think about the times you've struggled. Maybe it was the loss of someone you loved. Maybe it was a financial setback that left you feeling helpless. Or maybe it was a betrayal that cut you deeper than you thought possible. Whatever form it took, it changed you, didn't it? It forced you to stop and think about what really matters. Struggles have a way of stripping life down to the essentials. When you're comfortable, it's easy to get distracted by the small things, appearances, possessions, the endless race to be more and have more. But when hardship comes, all of that fades into the background. Suddenly, the heart is focused on questions far greater than the surface level ones. What is the purpose of all this? Where can I find real peace? Who will stand by me when no one else does? It's almost like struggles serve as an alarm clock for the soul. You're moving through life half asleep, and then boom, something happens that rattles you, and now you're awake, searching for answers. The pain that you thought would destroy you actually wakes you up to truths you might have never seen otherwise. And here's something powerful. Struggles don't just wake up your own heart, they also wake up your empathy for others. When you've been through sleepless nights, you understand the pain in someone else's eyes. When you've lost something valuable, you recognize the silent cries of someone else's loss. Struggles expand your heart, make it softer, make it kinder. Without them, we would be too hard, too proud, too disconnected. Have you ever noticed that some of the most compassionate, grounded, and wise people you know are the ones who've been through the hardest struggles? That's not an accident. Pain shaped them, their tears turned into wisdom. Their struggles carved depth into their souls, and maybe that's why struggles are necessary. Because if life were always easy, we would never grow. We would stay in the shallow end, never diving deeper into the ocean of meaning and purpose. Comfort is nice, but comfort rarely transforms anyone. Struggles do. They awaken the heart to realities that comfort hides. They force us to see how fragile life really is. They remind us that control is not in our hands. They push us to let go of pride, to seek strength from beyond ourselves, and to lean into hope when everything else seems lost. It's painful in the moment, no doubt. No one wants to face struggles. No one asks for heartbreak or hardship. But looking back, how many times have you realized that a struggle changed you for the better? That the very storm you thought would drown you actually washed away the illusions you were holding on to? That the night you thought would never end actually became the turning point of your life. Struggles awaken the heart because they redirect it. They remind you not to get lost in temporary distractions. They turn your attention to what's lasting, what's real, what's beyond this fleeting world, and once your heart awakens, you can never go back to being the same. So when the storm comes, and it will know this, it's not there to punish you. It's there to wake you up, it's there to make you see, it's there to help you grow in ways comfort never could. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers, though it rarely feels that way in the moment. When you're hurting, when your chest feels heavy and your eyes are swollen from tears, the last thing you think about is growth. You're just trying to breathe, you're just trying to make it through the night. But as time passes, you begin to see what pain truly does. It softens the soul in a way nothing else can. Most of us live with layers of pride, stubbornness, and hardness that build up over the years. We want to be seen as strong, unshakable, independent. We want the world to think we have it all together, but pain breaks through those walls. It takes away the masks we wear and shows us our most fragile human side. And strangely, that vulnerability is what makes us more compassionate, more connected, and more real. Think about it. Before you faced heartbreak, could you really understand someone else's tears? Before you struggled to make ends meet, could you truly feel the weight of someone else's financial burden? Before you sat by a hospital bed, fearing for a loved one's life, could you honestly grasp the depth of someone else's worry? Pain is what bridges the gap. It gives you empathy that no book, no lecture, no easy life could ever give. In a way, pain softens us by reminding us of what really matters. When life is smooth, we take so much for granted. We complain about small things, we chase after distractions, we hold grudges over words that don't matter. But when real pain hits, when you lose someone, when you face betrayal, when your world feels like it's crumbling suddenly, those little things don't seem so important anymore. Your heart begins to shift. You start to appreciate the small blessings. You start to forgive more easily. You start to value love, kindness, and faith over everything else. And here's another truth: pain humbles us. It reminds us that no matter how strong we think we are still human. We are fragile. We are not in control of everything. That realization may sting, but it also frees us. Because when we let go of the illusion of control, our hearts become softer, more open to guidance, and more willing to surrender to what is greater than us. It's no coincidence that some of the kindest people you meet are those who have suffered deeply. Their souls were softened by what they went through. They don't dismiss someone else's pain because they've carried their own. They don't judge quickly because they know how life can humble anyone. Their pain turned into wisdom. Their suffering turned into strength, but softening doesn't mean weakness. A softened soul is not a broken soul. In fact, it's the opposite. Pain doesn't just make you cry, it makes you more resilient. It doesn't just break you down, it rebuilds you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. The softness it creates is a strength of its own, the kind of strength that can comfort others, heal wounds, and inspire change. Think of a seed buried in the ground. From the outside it looks like it's been lost, crushed under the weight of soil, but inside that pressure is transforming it. It's breaking open, softening, preparing to grow into something new. That's what pain does to the soul. It presses you, it cracks you open, but it also plants something beautiful inside you, something that can only grow in the soil of hardship. So the next time you find yourself in pain, know this: even if you can't see it now, your soul is being softened in the best way possible. The very tears you wish would stop are the same tears washing away pride, anger, and arrogance. The ache you feel is shaping you into someone more compassionate, more loving, more alive. Pain has a way of reminding us that the heart is not made of stone. It's tender, it feels, it cares. And when it breaks, it opens wide enough for light to enter, strong enough to carry wisdom, and soft enough to truly love. We've all had moments when something we wanted slipped out of our hands, a dream we chased didn't work out, a relationship we invested in ended, an opportunity we thought was perfect was taken away. In those moments, it feels like the world is unfair. It feels like life is shutting us out. But what if that closed door wasn't rejection? What if it was protection? Sometimes we get so caught up in our own plans that we can't imagine another path. We're convinced that this job, this person, this chance is what will make us happy. So when the door slams shut, it feels like a betrayal. We ask why me, why now, what did I do wrong? But often it's not about punishment, it's about being redirected to something better. Think about times in your life when things didn't go your way. Back then, you might have cried, felt frustrated, even broken. But looking back now, can you see how those very disappointments saved you? The relationship that ended might have been protecting you from years of heartbreak. The job you didn't get might have freed you for a career that suits your soul. The friend who left might have made space for real, loyal people to enter your life. Closed doors are hard to accept in the moment because we only see a small piece of the picture. We think we know what's best for us, but our vision is limited. Life, however, has a way of protecting us from what we cannot see. Sometimes the things we beg for are not actually good for us. Sometimes the people we cling to are not meant to walk with us. And sometimes the paths we chase would have led us far away from peace. A closed door may feel like loss, but it can actually be mercy in disguise. It's like a parent who pulls their child away from touching fire. The child might cry, not understanding why the parent said no, but the parent sees the danger the child cannot see. In the same way, life takes away certain things to shield us from greater harm. And here's another truth. Closed doors don't just protect us, they also prepare us, they build patience, they teach us resilience. They push us to grow in ways we wouldn't have if everything went smoothly. When one opportunity fades, we learn to stand up again, to keep going, to look for new paths. And often, it's through this process that we find what we were truly meant for. The most beautiful part, many times, what comes after a closed door is far better than what we thought we lost. The pain of yesterday becomes the blessing of tomorrow. The heartbreak turns into healing. The rejection turns into redirection. The empty space makes room for something greater to arrive. It's like walking down a hallway, knocking on a door and finding it locked. You're disappointed, maybe even angry. But then you notice another door down the hall, one you hadn't seen before. You open it, and what's inside is beyond anything you imagined. If the first door hadn't closed, you never would have found the better one. So when life shuts a door, even if it hurts, try to see it differently. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what am I being protected from? What might I be prepared for? Trust that closed doors aren't random. They are part of a greater design, and the truth is, if something is truly meant for you, no door can keep it away. What is yours will find you, and what isn't yours will leave you, not because you're unworthy, but because you're being guided toward what's better for your soul. Have you ever noticed how a single candle seems almost invisible in the middle of the day? But when the room goes dark, that same small flame becomes powerful, even comforting. That's the nature of light. It shows its true beauty when everything around it is dark. Life works in the same way. When everything is easy, we rarely notice the guidance, the blessings, or the moments of clarity that surround us. We take them for granted. But when the darkness comes, when you're lost, when you're hurting, when you're searching for direction, even the smallest glimpse of light feels like a miracle. Think about the times you've been at your lowest. Maybe you are overwhelmed with fear, drowning in grief, or uncertain about the future, and then suddenly something happened. Maybe it was a kind word from someone. Maybe it was a reminder that you weren't alone. Maybe it was a new opportunity when you thought your options had run out. In that moment, didn't that light feel 10 times brighter than it would have if life had been smooth? Darkness doesn't mean the absence of hope. Often it means hope is about to shine more clearly. A star is always in the sky, but you can't see it until the night falls. In the same way, guidance, peace, and strength are always around us, but we only truly see them when life gets hard. And here's the paradox: though no one wants hardship, it's in those very struggles that we discover strength we didn't know we had. It's in the darkness that we learn to look for light. Without the night, would we ever notice the dawn? Without despair, would hope carry the same power? When the world feels dark, your heart begins to crave something deeper. Distractions don't work anymore. The usual comforts can't fill the void. That's when you begin to open your eyes to the light that was always there but hidden behind the noise. Darkness strips away illusions so you can see what really matters. Light in darkness isn't always a grand miracle. Sometimes it's simple. It's the friend who checks on you when you're silent. It's the strength to get out of bed when you thought you couldn't. It's the moment of calm in the middle of chaos. These moments might feel small, but in the dark, they glow with extraordinary brightness. And here's the beauty. Light doesn't need to be overwhelming to be effective. Even the tiniest spark is enough to guide you through the night. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need the whole map. Sometimes all you need is the next step, the next sign, the next little reminder that you are not abandoned. That's the secret of darkness. It teaches you to value even the smallest gifts. It makes you grateful for things you used to overlook. It humbles you and then lifts you by showing you that even in the hardest times, there is always a light waiting to guide you forward. So when you find yourself in a season of darkness, don't lose hope. Instead, start looking for the light. It may not erase the night immediately, but it will shine bright enough to remind you that dawn is coming. And when that dawn finally arrives, you'll appreciate its warmth and beauty far more because you've walked through the night. Because light doesn't just exist despite the darkness, it exists for the darkness. And when it shines, even the deepest night cannot overpower it. No matter how long the night feels, it never lasts forever. The sun always rises. It doesn't matter how deep the darkness is, how heavy the silence feels, or how endless the waiting seems, dawn always comes. And life is no different. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every storm you face has an ending. Every night of sorrow carries within it the promise of a morning. Think about your own life. Haven't there been moments when you thought, I'll never get through this? Nights when the tears just wouldn't stop, when the pain felt too heavy, when you were certain you had reached your limit, and yet here you are, you survived, the night ended, the dawn came. It's easy in the middle of the storm to believe it will last forever. Pain has a way of convincing us that there's no way out, but if you look back, you'll see that every trial you've ever faced eventually eased. Maybe not in the way you expected, maybe not in the timing you wanted, but relief did come. The night made way for the morning. This is one of life's most consistent lessons. Nothing is permanent. Happiness isn't permanent, but neither is pain. Darkness isn't permanent, but neither is light. Life moves in seasons, and just as the earth rotates from night to day, our lives rotate from sorrow to joy, from despair to hope, from endings to new beginnings. And here's the beautiful thing, the longer and darker the night, the more radiant the dawn feels. Have you ever watched the sunrise after a long, sleepless night? That first golden light feels like a miracle. It's not just the beauty of the sun, it's the relief of knowing the night is over. The same is true in life. When you come out of hardship, the smallest blessing feels extraordinary. A smile, a kind word, a new opportunity, they shine brighter because of the darkness you've been through. Every night also teaches us patience. You can't rush the sun to rise. You can't demand the morning come earlier. All you can do is hold on, keep breathing, and trust that dawn is on its way. In the same way, life's trials often require patience. You may not see the relief immediately, but that doesn't mean it isn't coming. Just as the sun is quietly moving toward the horizon while the world sleeps, your relief is quietly moving toward you, even if you can't see it yet. And sometimes, dawn doesn't just bring back what you lost, it brings something entirely new, something better. The relationship that ended makes room for one built on trust and sincerity. The opportunity that slipped away opens the door to something more fulfilling. The pain that broke you becomes the strength that shapes your future. So if you're in a dark night right now, don't lose hope. Remind yourself this is not the end, this is a chapter, not the whole story. The same way the night sky eventually softens into the colors of dawn, your struggles will eventually soften into peace. The very tears you cry today may water the seeds of joy you'll experience tomorrow. Every night has a dawn. Every hardship has its ease. Every closed chapter makes way for a new one. Hold on to that truth when the darkness feels heavy. The light is closer than you think.